Welcome to Save Your Sanity, help for handling hijackals, those difficult, toxic, and often disturbing people in your life. I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, the Relationship Help Doctor, and I'm here for you. You'll get the insight, skills, strategies, and support to stop tolerating verbal and emotional abuse, whether it's happening now or it happened to you in the past, maybe by a parent, partner, ex, relative, or even a coworker. Time to take life back, to recover and to rediscover you, your values, dreams, desires, and realize them in healthy ways in healthy relationships. I'm so glad you're here. Hello and welcome. There's so many things that I want to talk to you about, and every week I bring you something that maybe is a little bit different perspective, something you hadn't thought of, an angle, an idea, a symptom, a red flag, something. And today I want to talk to you about how to know if you're emotionally safe in your relationship. You may kind of feel you're not. You may feel that there's hope. You may feel that you are, and you may be right. You may not be right. So I'm going to give you some hints about that. I also want to tell you and really seriously invite you to become part of my Optimized Circles. Because when you go to optimizedcircles.com, you can join in at 3 levels of membership safely off social media and ask your questions, participate, get my free, not free, but a membership program right at the bottom level. Get the 21 Steps to Empowered Emotional Savvy 6-week email home study program. Actively engage in getting as wise and as well as you can, and go to optimizedcircles.com and join in there. Because if you're not emotionally safe in your relationship, you need to really understand why not, what's going on, why what's happening to you may be acceptable at some level, and what you could do about it, what you could actually create and move on towards, and why you would. All those things are in the podcast, but they're particularly talked about in the discussion threads, the webinars, the videos, the articles, the frequently asked questions, all of the things that are available for you at optimizedcircles.com. So, if you like to please people, you can too easily find yourself in emotionally unsafe relationships. So did you fall in love with a person who was so amazing that you thought you'd been blessed with a soulmate? Great! But then, did you soon find the relationship deteriorating into something more like being cursed with a cellmate? Well, that happens too often. I wish it didn't, but it does. And you've heard that when something seems too good to be true, it probably isn't. And that happens in relationships as well. One big thing is true. You are 100% responsible for keeping yourself safe. You are 100% responsible for keeping yourself safe. Sometimes you forget this when you're so charmed and enchanted by that seemingly perfect new person in your life. You just abandon your concerns and often your good judgment just to have that wonderful experience, the joy of falling in love, being swept off your feet, right? And yes, of course, that happens, and things only get better as time goes on. And in those relationships, yes, you'll be emotionally safe. But there are far too many relationships that don't work that way. I hate to be a bubble burster, but there are people in the world who simply want to have power over you. Have you met one? Were you born to one? Do you work for one? Are you related to one? And in your love life, all the charm and seduction and seemingly perfection is short-lived. In fact, it only usually lasts as long as it takes to get you to fall in love with them, move in, marry, or get pregnant. and followed shortly thereafter by them wanting to control you, your life, your friends, your family, and the finances. And with that need for control, the charm, seduction, and seeming perfection becomes what it always was: lying, exploitation, and manipulation. You don't want to believe it. You want to keep that happily ever after story going. You get hooked on hope that that person that you met is the real person and they're going to come back sometime soon. You want to believe the lies. They were magical. Of course, you were enchanted. It seemed perfect. You waited for that. It arrived, it seemed. And you want to believe the promises, even though all the evidence in your day-to-day life tells you differently, but you hold on. He or she will change, you tell yourself, right? If only I'm more patient, kind, loving, understanding, nurturing, undemanding, compassionate, whatever, then things will get better. You say that to yourself. And when you're in an emotionally unsafe relationship, your partner is counting on you believing it's your fault things aren't working out. In fact, once you think about it, you'll realize that actually in your relationship, according to that person, everything is your fault. At least that's what your partner tells you. You're not emotionally safe. In fact, you're likely not safe in any way. Believe me. I know it's not good news, but you really need to believe me. So let's back up for a minute and talk about what emotional safety really is. I like this quote from Anais Nin. She said, "We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are." So when you're wearing rose-colored glasses, you will miss all the red flags. When you see poor behavior, things that maybe make you feel uncomfortable, and then you rationalize and justify and make excuses for them, wow, you're now accepting and condoning them. And you're the one who's hurting. That's strange, isn't it? So if you're trusting, loving, honest, reliable, you expect everyone else to be, because we see people as we are. And that's a wonderful place to start in any relationship. But the problem is, we forget to take off the rose-colored glasses. And if we have our rose-colored glasses on, we can't see red flags. And we refuse to see the red flags, and we don't want to believe people use people. Did you hear that? We don't want to believe that people use other people. And we don't want to believe we're allowing ourselves to be used either, right? Now, you're emotionally unsafe when you cannot both be open and honest and vulnerable without being fearful of being put down or discounted or made fun of. Did you get that? You're emotionally unsafe if you can't be honest and open and vulnerable without the fear of being put down or discounted or made fun of or just devalued. And when only one person in a relationship is open, honest, and vulnerable, too often the other person is power hungry and looking to use you as a doormat. So you really have to wake up and say, I will not let anyone wipe my feet on me, wipe their feet on me. It's really important. Do not be a doormat. And if you have been, stand up now. Because to be safe means to be free from harm and hurt. To be safe means to be free from harm and hurt. And you also want and need to be free from anticipating being harmed or hurt. When someone wants to have power over you, your freedom is in jeopardy. your very freedom, and you begin to anticipate being hurt again. So you can clearly see you're not emotionally safe. And you may not be physically or sexually safe either. And you have to be safe to risk, to expose, and to share in order to have an emotionally intimate and healthy relationship. Don Catherall, he wrote a book called Emotional Safety, and he said, one partner can say something stupid and the other partner ignores it or doesn't look at it as significant. There's a level of trust. But when they lose that safety, everything has the potential to flare up. They stop taking things at face value or giving each other the benefit of the doubt. Got that? One partner can say something stupid and the other partner ignores it or doesn't look at it as significant. That's trust. But when there isn't that safety, everything has the potential to flare up. And people stop taking things at face value or giving each other the benefit of the doubt. Is that happening to you? Are you in a situation where there is no goodwill, where there is no acceptance, where there is really no love? Then you're not emotionally safe. You're afraid. You don't want to be. You want to trust. So you make up excuses for the behavior, but you're still not feeling safe. Can you acknowledge that to yourself? Can you really? Because it's the first big step, is acknowledging that to yourself. So right now, this minute, I've got 5 questions for you. Are you feeling safe in your relationship? Yes or no? Quick answer. Are you feeling safe in your relationship? These are all yes or no's. Number 2. Can you trust your partner with your innermost feelings and not fear being put down? Number 3. Can you trust your partner to listen to you with interest and compassion? Number 4. Can you trust your partner to want the best for you and do what is possible to make it happen? That's a big one. Can you trust your partner to want the best for you and do what is possible to make it happen? And number 5, can you trust your partner to keep your secrets safe and protect your vulnerabilities? Ooh, that's big. You have to be able to trust your partner to keep your secrets safe and protect your vulnerabilities, to be able to have those deep, emotionally intimate conversations without fear that they're going to go broadcast that or use it against you. Because if you can't say yes to all 5 of these things, you are not emotionally safe. And if any of these things, any of these 5 questions you answered yes to are true, it's time to rip off those rose-colored glasses and stand up and take a good look around. Are you ready to do that? Look at what are you putting up with? What are you making excuses for? What are you rationalizing continuously and justifying? Behavior that is just plain uncaring, thoughtless, dismissive, rude. These destructive patterns in your partner are not your fault. Likely your partner tells you they are. That's just to keep the power over you. And if you go along with it, you're enabling. Got that? You are enabling your partner to continue to misuse and abuse you. Yes, this is emotional abuse. I know you don't want to think of it as abuse. I've talked with you about that in other podcasts. You don't want to believe that you've chosen a partner that's abusive. You don't want to believe that you would allow yourself to be abused. And you don't want to think of your partnership as abusive. I get that. But that doesn't change anything. It's still emotional abuse. So stop taking the blame for your partner's bad behavior. It's not your fault. It's a choice the other person is making. And also stop making excuses for your partner's abuse of you and the relationship. Rip off those rose-colored glasses. Throw them away forever. They only end up blinding you to the red flags in life. Now, who would be foolish enough to wear them once they realize that? Well, I can tell you, it's people who have little self-esteem and even less self-confidence. Don't be one of them. If you're recognizing a pattern you may be trapped in here, know that you can escape. You, in fact, you are the only person who can keep you emotionally safe. You. It's up to you. Being with someone who needs to have power over you, somebody who needs to keep you uncertain and in fear, is the first thing to recognize. That's why I wrote the free ebook, How to Spot a Hijackal. You can go get that at hijackals.com. Hijackals.com. That's how you spell it. Hijackals.com. And I created that term hijackals to describe people who hijack relationships for their own purposes and then scavenge them every day at home for power, status, and control. Sound familiar? Probably. If you've been listening to my podcast for a while, you know about hijackals, and I hope you're waking up to this. And if you haven't, and this is your first time of hearing about it, I'm so glad you're here, because you need to understand that these people have patterns, traits, and cycles that are recognizable. And you can start by listening to my free listening. You can listen to it because it is also available in audio, but certainly read my free ebook, How to Spot a Hijackal. If there's any question in your mind that you have been with one, married to one, raised by one, work with one, related to one, because you don't want to be sitting there recognizing that somebody wants power over you and you're giving it to them because you are the only one who can keep yourself emotionally safe. So, does that sound familiar, a person who wants power over you? So you'll quickly see the traits, patterns, and cycles when you read the ebook. Because power is the very air that hijackals breathe. They need it. They crave it. And unfortunately and persistently, they demand it. And when you're with a hijackal, you are being suffocated so that the hijackal can take all the air out of the room. Whew. Does that sound familiar at all? So stop. You are emotionally unsafe with a hijackal, and here's the really bad news. It won't change. I know you don't want to believe that, so maybe you didn't even hear it. Believe it. You are emotionally unsafe with a hijackal, and it won't change. Hijackals don't change. I know that's hard to believe because you've been telling yourself that with enough patience and love and all that from you, the hijackal will finally believe that she or he is loved enough and relax. No, it won't happen. Believe me, they will take and suck all the air out of the room and all the life out of you, and it still won't happen. I know you don't want to believe that. You want to believe the hijackal and you want to believe in the hijackal, but don't, not for another moment. A hijackal only has interest in what feeds their need for power and control. Yeah, I know, it sounds harsh, but truly a hijackal could care less about you. I know, that sounds bad too, but it's true. And you really got to get this. A hijackal truly could care less about you as long as he or she is getting what they want, what they think they need. Hijackals don't have love to give you. I know you got love bombed in the beginning because they were everything you ever wanted them to be and you believed it and you still want to believe it. But today is the day to wake up and whip off those rose-colored glasses. They don't have love to give you. They have uses for you. That's the harsh truth. Believe it now or believe it later, but it's still the truth. Now take a deep breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth, and think about this. You have the right to be emotionally safe. Say that. Say it out loud. I have the right to be emotionally safe. And then know this, you have the responsibility to keep yourself emotionally safe. So say that. I have the responsibility to keep myself emotionally safe. And now let's move it into the present moment and the future and say, I will keep myself emotionally safe. I will keep myself emotionally safe. So, are you willing to rip off those rose-colored glasses and see how it is at last? Great! That's a big vote in favor of yourself. And you deserve to be safe. Believe that. Believe that right down to your toes. You deserve to be safe. And emotional safety means feeling accepted. Emotional safety is the sense that you are safe from emotional attack or harm. Now, a hijackal will never allow you to feel accepted or acceptable or good enough. So if all these things I've had to say to you today about whether or not you are emotionally safe in your relationship are sounding horribly familiar, great! That's the first important step to your recovery, for change, for you getting back up on your feet and standing up strongly. And the next thing to do is to get help to recognize the patterns, traits, and cycles. So go get my free ebook, How to Spot a Hijackal. You'll find it at hijackals.com. You spell it hijackals.com. Or you can also find it on my website at forrelationshiphelp.com, forrelationshiphelp.com. So go read the book. Then come and join in at Optimized Circles. No matter which level you choose, the first month is only $5. Try it out. You're going to spend $5 on a latte this week. So spend it on yourself. A whole month of information. So the first thing is to get help to recognize those patterns, traits, and cycles. And then the next step is to gather the new attitudes you need, the new mindset, and the strategies to step into your own power and say no to emotional abuse. Are you ready to do that? I sure hope you are. I mean, if you're unsafe right now, jump right in and go to my initial session offering. You get a whole hour with me so we can get to know each other and I can see if I can help you. I know I can help you, but see whether or not you want me to. And you can get that initial one-time 1-hour session for only $97. So go to forrelationshiphelp.com/join and let's talk. Let's figure out what's going on with you. Let's find out what your next best steps are. You definitely want to get support on this journey because you want to accelerate your growth towards emotional safety and away from this emotional unsafeness. So you have the right to be emotionally safe, and I hope you'll exercise your rights. Let's talk soon. You can join in on my YouTube channel for Relationship Help. Every Monday night, I have a live stream show. You can join in and ask your questions, join the conversation. So go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/for relationship help, HELP. So many things for you. You don't have to think you're alone. You're not alone. I'm here. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. And so are the other people in Optimized Circles. And it's safe. It's 100% off Facebook, off any social media. It's on my website so that you are safe. I hope you'll join me. I am so glad that you are listening. Please invite friends who might be wanting to have this kind of information or need this kind of information. And also invite people that you want to understand what's happening to you, so that when you tell them, they won't say, oh, no, that's not going on. You know, invite them to come and listen to the podcast. And you can get this podcast wherever you enjoy downloading your podcast. So invite them to do that. Go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel for Relationship Help so you'll get a reminder about every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific where you can join in. And I'll look forward to talking with you again soon. Thanks so much for being here, and thank you for being brave, for listening to this and recognizing that it's time for you to have a change. It's time for you to stand up to that partner, ex, or parent, that sibling or co-worker who is doing things that are keeping you emotionally unsafe. I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye-bye. I'm so glad you spent this time with me today. I hope you heard something that touched your heart and empowered you to move forward. You can have the life and relationships that you most want, and that begins with you, within you, today. I'm always here for you. Life can get better, and you heard that from me, the Relationship Help Doctor. I'm Rhoberta Shaler, and I work with clients throughout the world through video conferencing. We can talk. So learn more at forrelationshiphelp.com, forrelationshiphelp.com, or visit me on YouTube at For Relationship Help. Join me for next week's shows.